Okay, so wonderful testimonies coming up, especially from uh, Priscilla, I guess, last week. She has been having awesome experiences of seeing uh, angel manifesting in her house, on the wall, the outline of an angel coming up on the wall, and also our kind of a out of body experience when she has been sleeping. And the amazing thing is she has been waking up early in the morning, um, and meditating, and that is what is leading her, she believes, that to get into this kind of experiences. So yeah, uh, so I wanted to just speak about this thing that we are doing in the morning. Actually is also in Indian philosophy, and it is called as Brahma muhurtha or Brahma muhurt. Brahma muhurt is a period 1.5 hours before sunrise, or more precisely 1 hour and 36 minutes before sunrise. Okay, literally meaning the creator, that is Brahma's time, creator's time. So it is traditionally considered at this time for auspicious time for all practices of yoga, and most appropriate for meditation, worship, or any other religious practice. Spiritual activities performed early in the morning have a greater effect than in any other part of the day. Now, this is Indian philosophy. Brahma muhurta uh, where yeah, so it almost lasts around 48 minutes. uh, if sunrise is at 6 a.m., the Brahma muhurta begins at 4:24 a.m. So there it is. uh, it's also then Indian philosophy in the Ayurveda. uh, this particular time, here we are in India, we wake up at for the meditation at 4:30 a.m. He has been practiced for years and ages, and quite evident in Indian philosophy. Now, the importance of this particular muhurt, uh, and it's called the creator's time, because I believe we are the creators, co-creators with Christ Jesus. And why it is so important? First thing, the collective consciousness is all sleeping, so it's quite easy for us to penetrate and create by doing our meditations. Second thing is the brainwave states, the alpha, the theta, they are more active, and that's the reason it's very, very, very awesome time to do the meditations. The Bible says, I think it is in the book of Proverbs. uh, Let me check. it says, I shall seek you in the morning and find you. uh, I shall seek you early in the morning and find you. It says, it's Psalm 63. It says, O God, thou art my God, I shall seek you early in the morning and I shall find you. And so even the psalmist says, Lord, this is the time, early in the morning, when I shall seek you and I shall find you. And it's not that God is available only in the morning, but morning time is the best time for a brainwave state to access the realm out there, to experience the God who is in us, and co-create and manifest all that we want. So these secrets were out there in Indian philosophy for thousands of years, out there in our Bible thousands of years, and here we are practicing today. And now we know a bit of science, and I want to talk about how to access realms this morning. Spiritual realms that we talk about, uh, spiritual dimensions that we talk about, that we are able to access, or we can be in those dimensions or realms, all actually can be accessed by our internal being, our internal states of mind. So what is the state of mind defines the spiritual dimension that we are. So it is all actually how we are in our internal mind, in which state of mind. Are we in beta state, gamma state, are we in theta or alpha state, delta state? In those states, it depends upon which state you are, and accordingly our spiritual experiences, and we can be in the spiritual realm. Similarly, when we talk about out of body experience, when we talk about astral projection, these things is in fact not just a realm that is externally that we are accessing, but it is all happening in the brainwave state of our mind. The moment we shift gears in the brainwave state in our mind, that's the time that we are changing realms in our life. And these are miraculous realms, wherein we can go into different dimensions, we can go into have different experiences, dreams, out of body experiences, astral projection, all this stuff. So for spiritual well-being, meditation, I think early morning is the best time, because early morning we are more in alpha and theta state. Yeah, anyone wants to ask some question, want to put your inputs on this?
So for those of us who are in other time zones, it's not exactly 1.5 hours before sunrise. I mean, for us,
Yeah,
it's probably, for me, it's at 6 a.m. and
exactly.
probably it would be maybe 5 something,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit earlier. It wouldn't be.
So it's for me like
Is it 1.5 hours before sunrise, you said?
yeah, it's 1.5 hour before sunrise, But it's the external time is just a indication, but it is more to do with the internal brainwave state. So I believe it is more on where when are we doing the meditation. It's not about what is our brainwave state when we are doing the meditation. So if you are normal waking time is around 8 o'clock 9 o'clock, and you are waking up a little bit early, and your brain wave state is in theta and alpha state, I think you still get the job done.
Mm.
So it's not just more about the time, but I believe it's more about the brain wave state.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So any which ways, um, I think
And
even for
also,
your time. Yeah, go ahead, Sheila.
Dr. Joe says about the unconscious opening up at that time to receive. That's why we do it that early hours.
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Dispenser.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So the gateway to access the subconscious is the theta state, right? Alpha theta state. The brain slows down. That's the time when the thoughts slows down. So it's more on just before you fall asleep and just before you wake up. These are the most vital times where uh, we can program our subconscious and unconscious. We can program this time for creativity, to recreate things in our life, create things in our life. So as it says, Brahma muhurtha, it's time of the creator. And it's amazing that uh, we are understanding that we are the creators. We are one with, we are the co-creators in Christ Jesus. And how do we create is more on how do we how do we visualize, how do we meditate. That is so important. And this season so much is going on. um, the quantum prayer, focusing on the mind, focusing on Joe Dispenza's meditations, as he brings out so much of power out there, that we are realizing uh, how to get things done in our life. Yeah.
Hello, Jay.
Hi, Denzel.
Yeah, actually, I spoke to Priscilla yesterday.
Yeah.
That when she had an encounter and she went into that particular out of body experience,
Mm-hmm.
she was not aware of anything. All she could do, she could see the physical object, she could see herself, she could see her phone, but she could not really physically touch it. And then
Yeah.
she's wondering what's happening, what's happening, what's happening. And for a moment, she was in that state, out of body. And first time, she's also having the encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly she realized he's not in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, she heard after half an hour, she heard a phone suddenly, a notification sound came, and that time she immediately came back into the body, and then she could touch physical things. And
Awesome.
I said, were you not frightened when you went out of the body? She said, no, I had peace afterwards. And then
Wow.
later on, she saw that imprint of the angel on the wardrobe mirror.
Wow.
Okay? The wardrobe mirror, and that remained for quite some time. And, that was a real experience, for Priscilla, and to see that angelic imprint on the mirror.
Wow. Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. So, and it's that's so prophetic time, uh, because I've experienced, it's like
Yeah,
you can literally see the future,
yeah.
and it happens, like, you know
But
you,
is it safe to do that practice like that? Nobody is in the house, like she's all by herself.
Yeah. Now they believe, especially when it is astral projection, where
Yeah.
your consciousness gets out of your body and starts moving into different dimensions or different places. They believe that most of the stuff that when I read, there's a silver cord that is there connected to the soul, the consciousness, and that's what many of them believe. And what happens is, um, there is a fear that that silver cord snaps off, and it shouldn't snap off. So this there because there is a silver cord, the soul comes back into the body. Now, if we have fear when this is happening, then you are not able to advance well and have a better experience. But when there is no fear, then you know it is happening and there is no fear, then you can literally go to places or beyond time, beyond location, and you can literally observe what is going to happen tomorrow, uh, and you can come back into your body and get some information what is going to happen tomorrow, whom you are going to meet, and all that stuff. So uh, it's important, important if you are trying to practice to program your mind, not to have fear.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
all
for
yeah,
Priscilla, it was the first time. Na? She was not
exactly,
like,
exactly.
she didn't intend to have that. And of course, she did a meditation, that fireball thing, all that, no, what OBE
Yeah.
teaching. And she does that first.
Mhm.
And she began to get up in the morning.
Mhm.
Earlier, she used to get quite late, but now
Yeah,
she realized the value of the morning time, and
exactly,
she does a lot of other studies. So she realized, why don't I, take advantage and the benefit of that time?
exactly.
And so she's very keen. Even today, I think she's practicing that only. She's busy with that, that the morning time. She don't want to miss it. And actually,
Exactly.
what part of her? This is the soul part, no, that goes out.
Yeah, because we can't. I mean, we can't define the consciousness. That is, or things we call it the soul.
Yeah,
Okay, but it's a. I believe it's a confluence of the mind, consciousness, and when we speak about the mind, we really don't know what is it. It's not the brain, right? When
no,
we
no, no.
talk about
Yeah,
mind, it is
yeah,
something we can't really explain in detail. This is the mind. So it's mostly that consciousness, that is the soul of ourself,
yeah.
which is experiencing all of this, which in also includes the brain, which is getting into a different brainwave state.
But
And you,
Vanal,
yeah,
Vanal,
Yeah,
we understand now that the soul is made up of the mind, the
yeah.
will, and emotion. Okay, that is the immaterial part of you. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
body is the material part of you, or the matter,
Mm-hmm.
but the soul is the immaterial, the spiritual part of it. Okay,
Yeah,
now the mind is different from the brain. Brain is like
mm-hmm.
the hardware, which
Exactly.
with, like, with the mind you can think, but with
Mm-hmm.
the heart, with the
Yeah,
spirit, you believe. So
yeah.
believing, the function of believing is in the spirit, and the
Mm-hmm.
function of thinking is in your mind. Am
Yeah.
I right?
come here, give me.
As I tried not to or divide this thing, because uh, uh, when we start dividing, then we are looking at something very complex in nature, in a very easy way. We just divide this. Okay, this is emotion, this is this, and this is how it works. But I believe it's completely complex in nature, and though it is complex, I believe it's one,
Yeah.
uh, you know in a deeper level. So I try as much as possible not to divide this, because what is happening is many a times Christians try to divide the mind, the body, and the spirit, and that separation mindset, I believe, causes a lot of, later on it causes a lot of other issues. So I try to keep it as one. So it's better to say that I left the body, or uh, I had this experience, out of body experience. uh, though we say it is out of body, the body is equally involved in this experience. It's actually, for me, it's not really out of body. Though we say, I saw myself leaving the body and going to Mumbai, and meeting Denzel. He was wearing this shirt, this. The truth is, the body is equally, what do you say, contributing to this experience, though it is sleeping in that particular. So I try not to divide the stuff. I believe everything that is there, right? The body, the mind, the soul, the spirit, or whatever labels that we put in a whole is contributing to this experience.
Right.
So if I say this was a spirit, then what happens is many people try to say, okay, since it is spirit, let's focus on the spirit. Or if I say this was only about the soul, the emotion part, or the will part, or something, then people will say, let's focus only on that part. No, no, no. I believe it is you as a whole uh, responsible for this experience. So how why am I saying it? It's because uh, everything is connected. What you ate for the dinner, what you put into your body, what was your emotional state, what was your what you have been feeding your mind, all that thing is contributing for this experience. So that's why I don't
Very
try to uh, differentiate or separate all this particular uh, you know uh, entities. Any
Yeah, it's
questions on
very
it?
true.
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
oneness,
Yeah, go ahead, Stella.
the oneness is so important. I was listening to Dr. O, so he was talking about this oneness. We are one, one, one.
Yeah,
And when I listen to her testimony, out of body experience reminds me of my experience in the hospital.
yeah.
And I'm longing for more of that. That time I did not know, but now I want more of it. That's what my desire is.
Yeah, so there are exercises, there are stuff out there that you can literally focus and to get this out of body experiences. So um, you can literally there are so many books out there, so many meditations out there. And if we focus on and if we decide, oh, I want to have an out of body experience, I mean, it also happens without a voluntary decision, but you can also have a voluntary decision, and say, let's let me I want this experience, so let me focus on it, and it happens to you by your decision. So that also could be done. But all these things that we do, like meditations and all these things, are interconnected, so that you might have some or the other experiences in your life. It might not be astral projection, it might not be out of body experience, but it might be lucid dreaming, or it might be a dream that you got, or it might be synchronization during the day. So you are, or the manifestation during the day, anything can happen to you. But if you say, I want this particular thing, and have a vision or a kind of a goal, then you will also see that, like how Prophet Kabir says, the spirit of a prophet is submitted to the prophet. So what you look out for is what you're going to get into your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why praying in tongues is so important. I mean, I know how important it is, especially when it comes to experiences. When you keep praying in tongues, you can literally see the shift in the gears of brainwave state. So your brain waves shift and you start getting into experiences. You start shifting. So how do your realms of existence change? Simple thing.
Yeah.
As your brainwave states change, so your realms of existence change. How can you live in a different realm? Simple. There is a shift in the gears internally, there is a shift of realm externally. So how does uh, synchronization happens even in physical realm? Why are you seeing 111? Why are you seeing 777? Why are you seeing aleph all the time? Why are you seeing Hebrew letters all the time? It's all internal realm that is shifting gears. Your
Oh, yeah.
mind, your brain is doing things. And I don't know, Priscilla, I think Denzel, your daughter, was supposed to come for the
Yeah,
fellowship.
I asked her. Then I think she's so much caught up with the experience. She said, I don't want to miss the time. I'll come.
Awesome.
I'll come.
Yeah,
I will
awesome.
come to her.
But she had a question about the pineal gland. So
Yeah, yeah,
all this stuff that we talk about, and this is what I want to really highlight on this
yeah. Good,
fellowship,
good. Yeah.
is these are not external things. These
Okay.
are things that are happening in us, within us. That's why we say God in us,
Yeah,
Christ in
right,
us.
right, right.
So they are internal things that are happening. So
Yeah.
what is this third eye and seeing visions? You know, everything, even our experiences right now. You
Mm.
might be looking at your phone, you're
Yeah,
looking at the laptop.
yeah.
You are actually not looking at the phone and laptop which is outside. You are looking at your phone and your laptop which is inside you.
Oh, great. That's a nice understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
nice understanding.
the light of your phone is going into your retina, and from your retina it is going into your brain. And where are you actually seeing it? It's in your brain that you're seeing it.
Oh, right, right. Very true.
It's
Very
not
true.
it's not
Yeah,
outside. So every experience and everything that you're seeing is an internal experience, not an external one. So even a vision that you see, and
yeah,
many Christians claim that they see visions
yeah.
when they are in prayer, of an
Mm,
angel who has appeared before them and talking to them,
mm.
is not actually externally, but it is happening internally. The external is the projection of the internal reality, and that's what I've been always saying in my sermons. The external is a projection of internal reality. So what is happening inside of you is what you're seeing externally into your life. Similarly, the dimensions or the realms that you are experiencing externally, it's actually happening internally. And that's where Saint Paul says, oh, I went into the third, there was a certain man who went into the third heaven, and I can't explain to you what it is, whether in the body or out the body.
Yeah,
This
right.
guy could not explain because,
Mm.
come on, brainwave states. How would he explain about that in that period of time? So it is it's an internal experience that he was having. which was
Yeah.
projected externally. And
Oh,
this internal experiences us, it can literally, what do you call it, collapse waves, uh, give you a quantum jump, quantum shift in your life. You can see quantum miracles in your life through this experiences.
Ronald,
Yeah.
actually, I know a guy. His name is Michael Shattuck. He's a
Yeah,
very close friend of Chris Blackley. I don't know whether you heard his name, Michael Shattuck.
I think I
He's,
heard a name. Yeah, I
yeah.
heard that name.
Actually, all that I am today, what I got understanding of sonship is
Mhm.
through his teaching. He used to come to Mumbai and talk with me, Sister Maria Netto from Mumbai, Kurla, and I used to always attend his whenever he comes to Mumbai. And this guy, 50 years ago, he actually died physically. His spirit and soul, whatever, went to heaven,
Yeah.
and he actually was there. He said, "I saw the colors, general. I saw the trees, the
Yeah.
colors. They spoke to me." And that guy saw a table. The table said,
Mm-hmm.
"I am table. I'm here to serve you." And then one day he met Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
One particular experience, he met Jesus, and he said, "When I saw Jesus, I saw myself and him as one. This I
Wow.
didn't feel any bit of condemnation. I didn't feel any guilt, but I
Mm-hmm.
saw him as one." And then he said, "Son, will you take this experience and go and tell my people about who they are as sons of God?" And then he came after somehow. Then he came back to his body. He was found himself in the hospital, and then suddenly, he came alive again. And as he began to teach in those days, nobody would believe him. And
Mm-hmm.
then everybody continued, bring sonship. And today we understand that we are not. And he said that then he would tell us there are no Christians in heaven. There are only sons of God.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
Well, I have a practical question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the other day when I woke up like around 3:30, because I slept very early. But I was a little bit lost actually. I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, oh, this is a good time to wake up. You know,
Yeah.
okay, it's very good. I'm in theta state, and so I was thinking, okay, so what do I do? I was like, okay, so what, you know, what meditation can I do, or things? I kind of felt like I guess I felt like not confident to kind of like do any particular one. I needed guidance. What do you
Mm-hmm.
suggest in a thing like that? Like, I mean, I don't want to always have to plug in something and listen to
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
like, because at 3:30 you don't want to have to get out of bed and then go and find something and then switch it on, and
Yeah.
that almost disrupts the thing. What do you suggest, like when you wake up and
Yeah.
what's a good thing to do?
Yeah. So, best thing is, when you are at that point of time, like if I have tried it out, is I will just sit silently and sit silently and just uh, visualize in my heart that I'm having a personal conversation with the Lord, and maybe you call something called as internal tongues.
yeah,
Internal tongues is
yeah.
when you pray in tongues in your mind. So that's what I do, because I had a lot of experiences when internal tongues was going on, and I was like, that moment I just don't want to plug in into anything. You just want to sit and just be silent, be still, and just speak in internal tongues, and then I see myself getting into different experiences. So that is, I would suggest, that's the best thing you could do. That has been working for me. Get into that kind of state, and internal tongues, and then you start getting but best thing is you do it while you're sitting, not when you're sleeping, not in a sleeping position but sitting position.
That is called internal dialogue.
Yeah, it's either you can do that internal dialogue or internal tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you try to have a reference point. So when I say reference point means try to visualize you're talking to an angel, or try to visualize that you're talking to God or Jesus. That becomes your reference point. Then when you do that, based on that reference points, then you start getting stuff into downloads into you.
So you mean visualizing,
Yeah.
an actual dialogue with somebody, like a,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, I see. I
So it
see.
can be anything.
Yeah.
It can be the four living creature. It can be biblical prophet. It can be Christ. It can be anything.
But let me ask you about, how about, um, it talks about like before you sleep and when you wake up to plant the seed, when you want, when you're praying for something or when
Yeah,
you want certain outcomes, right?
yeah,
Because also just now that you said that when somebody does astral projects, like that's why they they want to go and visit somebody, or they want to
yeah.
go to Mumbai, or they want to go somewhere. They have an intention when they astral project,
Exactly, exactly.
right? So the thing is, so I'm wondering if during these times as well,
Yeah,
it's not just like, I guess having a dialogue would, that's what it would mean. It
yeah.
would also mean like putting out your outcomes, or putting out your the seed of your intentions,
Yeah,
at that time as well, right? Because it's supposed to be
absolutely,
very powerful.
absolutely, absolutely. That's why, because you are that into your creation mode, right? You are manifestation mode. So you can have that kind of thing, that this is what exactly I want, and you start doing those kind of thing also. So but if you want to have a kind of prophetic experiences where you want to have downloads, then you can uh, that's the time you can ask questions and get an answer.
Right, right. Yes,
Okay,
yes, that's true. That's
so
true.
for that you can visualize an angel before you, and you can ask questions and you can get an answer.
Yeah. I guess
uh,
that's what dialogue is, right? I guess that's
exactly,
what dialogue is. The content of your dialogue very much depends on your intention and
exactly,
things like that, right? So,
exactly,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
awesome.
it now. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Debbie,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead,
now
Denji.
Vernon has put a lot of meditations on the YouTube, like Archangel Michael,
Mhm.
Archangel Raphael. So when you particularly focus on this archangel, then you tend to, have an experience or encounter with that particular angel. Am I right, Vernon?
Yeah, yeah.
And can I do that anytime, like, maybe a little later on, because since I have it on the YouTube,
The other
I just,
best time is after you have your lunch.
after having lunch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because all you lose all the energy to your stomach.
exactly,
So you feel tired. You feel tired, right? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. You feel right. You feel drowsy, right, after your
Yeah,
lunch.
yeah, yeah, correct.
So that's the time you just sit back and plug in and listen to those meditations. And
I mean, you do intentionally then?
yeah, you can do intentionally at that time, and it can be a great benefit for you.
But you know what happened with me, at least, Vernon?
Yeah,
uh, I've got a, like, whenever I eat,
yeah.
I just feel like going to sleep immediately.
That's the reason it's very important, because you want to go to
Okay,
sleep.
okay. I just like my wife tells me, Denzel, you just laid down and you're snoring.
Yeah, so you have to make sure that you are not lying down completely on the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
You should see that you are sitting down or something like that, and get into that place where you are very drowsy. That's it.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That drowsy feeling is very important.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Varun.
yeah. Welcome. Awesome. Yeah, so literally three early in the morning, just after you wake up, Then the time when you're after you had your lunch and you're feeling drowsy, and later on in the just before you sleep. So these are the times that your brain waves start shifting, and you can do it also when you're praying in tongues and all that stuff. So these are
Yeah.
basically stuff that has been used by uh, spiritualists uh, in the past history. In the past, people in different tribes have been doing this. They try to alter the brainwave states. The shamans do this every moment when they want some answers. So if they are not able to do it, what they do is they try to consume psychedelic substances like mushrooms and some plant
Ayahuasca.
ayahuasca.
Yeah. I mean, it
Ayahuasca.
can be a scary. The funny thing is, if you kind of don't do it in the Lord, like I had a friend who did ayahuasca, and she ended up in a very scary situation, where it was like experiencing like the death of her mother or something like that. It was
Yeah.
very scary for her. And the thing is, I think that's the thing, right? When you go in
With
totally unaware of the
yeah.
totally unaware of the spirit realm. In other words, you are so unguided,
Exactly.
unguided, right? And it sort of can take on a lot. It's the same as people taking LSD and stuff. It will shift their mind states, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, an unguided type of thing that they're doing.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
ayahuasca is something the shamans have been practicing for ages, and
yep.
they literally get downloads from different things. And I know people who have been very, very successful in life with their ayahuasca experiences. So
Yeah.
they had one ayahuasca experience, and that's it. Their life changed for good. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's like
know.
the guy who runs Mind Valley, right? He shares that
Yeah, yeah.
experience.
Mind Valley guy, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, that
Mind
guy.
Valley guy has shared his experience. Also, there is in India there is a YouTube channel. A guy who was a YouTuber. He has a huge subscribers for that YouTube channel, and he has been quite successful in that channel. He speaks about,
Mm.
very young guy. He speaks about how one experience of ayahuasca, literally made him go ahead and do the YouTube channel and made him successful in life.
Yeah, yeah.
So what really ayahuasca does, simple, it just changes the brainwave states, takes you to those deeper levels of brain waves, and gives you an experience. What Jansi is asking a question, what are the material benefits of this experience? Yeah. So remember, as I said, whatever that happens, your internal reality is the external reality is a projection of your internal reality. So materially, what is happening in your life is a result actually of what has happened into your internal state. So that's the thing. So as things happen in your internal being, your mind, brain waves, your mind, externally, you will see it. And that's where we also do this contemplative prayer, uh, quantum prayer, where internally we are already experiencing what we believe for, and then we see that manifest externally in our life, Jansi. So
Vernal,
yeah.
this Mind Valley guys, no, now we understand now. We know that Christ is all in all, right?
Yeah.
So is it safe for us to do that Mind Valley thing? Is it relevant for
Absolutely.
us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like uh, Your question could be also connected, like, to rephrased by saying, can I also do Joe Dispenza? Can I also do Joseph Murphy?
Yeah.
And the answer is absolutely. That's why
Okay.
oneness is important, to know that all these things are one. We can't separate these things as Christian or some other thing. This is
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
in us, and it's important in our life.
Yeah. That's very true.
Uh, Linda is asking, is commenting, and she's saying, I have a testimony for a lady's whose child who used some substance and went into a crazy, unexplainable behavior at home, and his mom was considering rehab. My ex was into substance, so she contacted me to know what to do. And all I told her after hearing from God is to not to put him in a rehab, and that would get him into deeper dependence on substance and low self-esteem. Instead, listen to him and understand him, as he is caught up after seeing the spirit world and can't understand it. After that, I prayed for the boy, and today he's gone to Northeast to serve the Lord. Awesome testimony.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very nice.
so some of the things that we demonize, uh, like the psychedelic mushrooms, ayahuasca, maybe weed, grass, marijuana. These were used, and these are also used even now by, even in India. There are these people, the sadhus. Before they do meditation, they take their weed, they take their marijuana, and they get into meditation. The shamans do it. They have their own ways of this. So they are, and we what has happened is we have because we have abused, and we get into what is called a substance abuse, and we get into dependency in all this stuff. uh, we are not able to really make real good beneficial use of these things. But the shamans used these things very wisely, and they looked at these things as very sacred. And because they looked at these things as very sacred and used it wisely and not as an addiction, they were able to access the realms and get answers from the realms.
Yeah.
So,
See, what we're looking for is answers and results, correct?
exactly.
Now, I wanted to share this, on the contemplative prayer group, the
Yeah,
praying as who I am. For
yeah,
prayer requests, testimonies, and links to understanding more about creation or reality, no gory details. Will request just the glory details of the outcome you want.
yeah,
That's really superb.
yeah,
I mean, don't tell me the story of your problem. Tell me what really you want to see in that problem. Do you want to see
exactly.
come out of the problem, or you want to just keep talking about the problem? That's a
Yeah,
nice understanding today we have, that don't go with all the stories that all what the setbacks and the problems you face. Now tell me what really you want to see. You
yeah,
want to see yourself healthy. You want to see your family relationship restored. You want the guy who took off your money, bring it back to you. So now we actually, with the end result, we picture in our mind and we believe in our heart, and then the subconscious mind takes it to the universe point of price, and then it happens. Right? Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. That's to the point. Jansi, I didn't get your question. You said, can we follow one method of meditation, like things and draw the maximum all benefit? Could you elaborate the question?
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, no, many methods that telling like Debbie and others are telling they're spotting out many methods of meditation.
Yeah.
So can we follow one type and also have the benefits of from everything, like
Huh.
extreme benefit can we have by following one thing?
I think you can in some ways. It all depends upon what you want, right? These are different things which can combine and used. You can combine and use different things to get one particular result, right? Like for example, if you want astral projection, right? Now in astral projection, uh, it's about it's about uh, let's look at this. Each person is different now, and because each person is different, now if you have a particular sickness, uh, let's say homeopathy is not working on you, what will you do? You will try ayurveda, you will try allopathy, you will, if that doesn't work, you'll try something naturopathy, but you will see that you are healed from that particular sickness by using all the means, right? And I think that is important, that when you want something or an experience, you try out as much as possible what works for you. And once you, because the more you try, the more you will come to know what really works for you for a particular experience to happen. So let's say astral projection, for some people it can just happen with a breath work, just breath work, solely breath work. If you want, and for somebody it might work through affirmations just before sleeping. For somebody it might work through meditations and all those things. So I would say, like, there's no one thing that can give you all the experiences, but all the things used in different ways to get your work done can help you. So that's why do I do different prayer technologies, is just to expose you to different ways of prayer to achieve things, but the basic principles are same. So sometimes it is chanting on prayer beats, sometimes it is voodoo technology, sometimes it's just sitting and trying to visualize, sometimes it is quantum prayer. So Kabbalah, sometimes it's looking at the Kabbalah tree of life, and all these things are tools to help you to get to the basic principles, uh, make it easy for you to get into that particular basic principles and get your job done.
Okay, sir.
So you can use all the what you can do is all the technology, all the techniques, all the types of meditation, but one intention, have that one particular intention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So then what happens is you're more focused on the intention, not the technique.
Yeah, intention, conscious.
Yeah, be very be sure of, be focused on that particular intentions. I want to get these things done through any which ways, and I believe all these ways will add up to get me to that intention, get the results of that intention.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we are almost an hour now.
Yeah, wonderful
uh,
time. Good
awesome.
discussion.
So thank you so much, it was so fruitful
Yeah,
talking to all you guys and discussing this stuff. Amazing time. So we get back into meditations from
yeah,
tomorrow.
sure. Yeah,
Love you.
Kabbalah, the
Thank you.
fourth one.
Yeah, go ahead,
The
answer.
Kabbalah fourth one is ready, or we are on the third one?
We finished third one, so now we will do 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
The Kabbalah tree is also very
It
helpful
it's very
because
helpful. Yeah, it's very deep.
yeah,
Yeah,
because earlier we have no idea about all these things, but now in this particular age now, so many things are opening up. One, so many things.
exactly.
Like
This
like
is
a year ago, we were not at all familiar with the Hebrew letters as as even the so-called church culture.
yeah,
Nobody spoke about that. Nobody spoke about Kabbalah tree. And even if somebody mentioned Kabbalah, say, oh, be careful, Kabbalah is not of the Bible, this and
yeah,
that, and fear.
yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
we don't go there. Now I have the peace of mind. I say, okay, Kabbalah actually means tree of life.
yeah, exactly. These are all. That's why what has kept us away uh, is uh, is demonizing, labeling.
Yeah, right, right.
That is what has kept us away from experiencing
Exactly, exactly.
this stuff. If we
Mhm.
had not demonized this stuff, it would be much, much better for us to experience Christ in everything, you know. So, yeah,
That's
awesome,
true.
guys. Thank you,
Yeah,
Denzel, so much.
yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
everyone, for being on board. Love you guys, and see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.